Good afternoon, Bob from Trade Genius. Third of January, and a happy New Year for the trading year. And I'm going to go through my my charts here as soon as my computer stops going crazy. And so the first thing I'm going to go through the stuff that I own and bought today, and then I'll just have some general comments. So we have AG and had a nice start to the year, and so we you know, just in general, the miners and the metals kind of ignored the rampathon of the vol crush and the yen move. So, and which pushed SPY up. And usually in the past it would knock these things down, but they held. So we'll just see if something new's happening here. But for right now, we're at AG. We're profitable and we're happy about it. We also bought SLW, and bought this back at 1965, and again, it held, and we had a great trade on it last week, and looks like it's trying to build again. I don't know. I wouldn't guess really considered as a bear flag, but we'll see. But watching it right now, and we're slightly profitable on the trade, and we also bought SILJ today. And we bought this at 12.63 or 62, somewhere around there, and that trade is profitable too. We also had a buy signal on MOS, and at like 19, I forget what it was exactly, 1970, 1980 area. So we're a little bit down on it, but I'm very positive on the ag chems, and the mistakes I've made on the ag chems is actually getting stopped out too tight versus letting it run, and so we have our stop is under 29 here, and we'll see if we get this thing moving back up over 30 again. And we got stopped out of the yen this morning. It just crashed on us right in the beginning, so we got stopped out. Small loss, got back in again, and I think it's trying to make a bottom here, and if you saw the news on the inflation, Germany's inflation, core inflation is getting over 3%, and that starts to become noticeable to people. And China and Japan are in the same boat, and all three of their currencies have been devaluing against our dollar. And at some point, interventions are going to happen because, for Japan and for Germany, it becomes a big inconvenience for their people. For China, people will start to starve, and so I just can't see them being able to just use this yen as a liquidity, basically a funding source to keep the SPY up. And I guess they're probably trying to test the resolve of China to see when they're going to cry uncle and do something about it. But right now, they've been trying to jam the yen all the time, but it's still put a bottom in here, before Christmas, and that's holding. So we'll see. And I haven't yet set a stop on this yet, but probably I'll set it below the low today. And then the other thing I got stopped out on, but we got back in on as well, is TWM, and we're back in it again. Slightly red, just like the yen is, but again, this market is just living for squeezes right now. So I'm just patiently trying to catch it and catch a trend on it. I just can't imagine when we start reporting earnings here in January. No matter how good, quote unquote, the manufacturing is, these people are competing against all these devalued currencies around the world. So are they losing business because of it? Number one, and number two is that business profitable? And so we're going to find out pretty quickly, and also look at the guidance on that. But I just can't imagine, with the strength of the dollar over the last 2 to 3 months, that our multinationals aren't just getting whacked. And so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then looking at SPY, is SPY came out on a big gap up right up to VWAP, believe it or not, and then sold back down, and then they tried to jam it back up into the close, but it's still being held by VWAP, and this downtrend line is getting overbought again. And then one of the things that triggered today for me was I usually just sell call credit spreads, but I'm testing it both way, and also put credit spreads. I don't normally like to put credit spreads as much because I think big ramp ups are rarer than big ramp downs, and so but I'm giving it a whirl, and so far so good. And that trade got put on this morning, and but it's for Friday, so I got Theta as my friend here, and that ramp at the end kind of helped it. So just keeping an eye on it to see if I pull this thing out profitable, and I'm going to start, talking about both credit spreads and on the call and the put side for SPY. And then I'm also testing one for GDX, and that trade is still positive on it, although it may get stopped out tomorrow out of my on my spread. But right now the spread is flattish. But I'm just looking for good liquid positions here that normally behave themselves, and on these reversals that stay long enough in their reverse position to allow me to profit from the other side. I'll keep everybody in the loop on how these things are working, but these are a nice way to make money. You don't have to be right, you just have to not be wrong. And then just speaking of which, we did some Nadex trades today. They were all winners. We have one on right now. It looks like it's going to, for the afternoon, looks like it's going to win too. And that's just another way of making money. If you have a small account, you don't have to be right. We just have to not be wrong. And so far, so good on those. Getting off to a good start this year. We had a great month, and for all of 2016, it was very profitable to trade those binaries. Anyway, it's Bob from Trade Genius. I'll talk about some more things as the week goes on, but you guys have a good week. I think we're going to see a lot of just machinations here as traders get positioned into the new year, and we'll see if this was just a big short squeeze to catch everybody leaning short into the new year, or if they're going to try to take this baby to new highs. Anyway, have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.